Welcome to Upshift. As the first episode of this particular program, we are going to share with you a very important strategic element of a business. It is about sustainability strategy. Traditionally, in an organizational performance was measured mainly focusing on the financial performance. For example, we would like to see an organizational growth in terms of the revenue. And also we would like to secure better profits or the bottom line. Not only that, we are focusing on efficient cash flow. And also, if organization is performing well, we are looking into the liabilities, assets and overall balance sheet of the organization. There are plenty of ratio analysis that we do to evaluate whether the organization is healthy or performing well in the space of financial aspects. Now the question is this: is financial performance is only enough for an organization to be measured? Let me share a couple of examples globally. There was an organization in 1980s. They were performing well in their financial performance is considered. However, within a couple of hours, they had to shut down their operations because releasing of toxic methyl isocyanate gas to the community resulting in death of 15,000 and also impacted 500,000 people around. This is how it was catastrophic. Ladies and gentlemen, the business performance is unable to measure only through the financial performance. Let me share a couple of other examples. One of the largest beverage brands in the world was fined because of extraction of raw water from the communities. One of the other largest brands in the world was in the highlight of the news, considering the harassment towards women in the headquarters by the executives. As a result of it, the organization had to completely change their leadership structure. Let me talk about a couple of local examples as well. One of the organizations had to relocate themselves because of the community pressure towards the contamination of water. There was another organization, they had to relocate because of a release of toxic ammonia gas to the community. These are some of the examples globally and local context which challenged the traditional organizational performance based through the financial performance. It doesn't mean that financial performance is not important. It is imperative for the organization, but also overall financial performance can be impacted with other elements or the other elements around us. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, today's business landscape has changed completely. It is getting more complex. For example, evolvement of the political and legal framework. All of us are talking about the recent tariff change in US government, which has a significant impact to the business world. Usually, the regulatory requirements are getting stringent over the period of time, with the pressures coming from the consumers, activists, and general public in overall. Not only that, but also different type of business risks in terms of data security, natural disasters, operational risk, the consumer risk, the general public impact. All these things are coming towards a business. That's why we tell the business world is evolved so that it is getting more complex. Fulfilling the requirements or the needs of the stakeholders is challenging. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to business context, now we know the financial risk management and other risk or non-financial risk management are paramount for the success of our business. Let's talk about mainly on non-financial risk management. To fulfill the non-financial risk management of a business, environmental social governance framework can play a vital role. What is environmental social governance framework? Environmental social governance framework provides framework for an organization to assess the organizational, environmental, social and governance issues in overall. And also it provides framework for an organization to anticipate the risks in terms of environment and social issues coming towards the organization and take necessary actions so that organizational risk management will be effective. Not only that, but also this will provide framework for the organization to be creating a competitive edge in the market. Therefore, Ladies and gentlemen, with the understanding of the value proposition of environmental social governance or ESG framework of a business, we are going to talk about how organization can implement environmental social governance framework step-by-step manner with a scientific approach while understanding the stakeholder needs from next episode onwards. Stay tuned.